Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Coin Lady channel. Banks and other current events will get a brief mention. Even narratives that had previously shifted around XRP will be discussed. UK, don't forget how the government assured you it wouldn't be implementing any sort of digital ID anytime soon, right? Have they deceived you? Mastercard is officially recognized by the United Kingdom government as a secure provider of digital identity solutions. In my opinion, the failure of these financial institutions is now the inevitable prelude to the establishment of a CBDC, a universal digital identifier, and a social credit rating system. My guess is that there's a good explanation for SVB's decline. In the millions, Dutch pension funds have lost money due to the collapse of the American banking system. After I posted a video about the failing bank, many viewers commented that the issue was uniquely American. None of this will ever spread around the globe. We can all feel the effects, that much is clear. Investors in Dutch pension funds lose nearly €140 million due to the failure of the American Silicon Valley Bank. On Friday, the startup bank in which they had invested went bankrupt. The US government intervened over the weekend, and customers can once again access their funds as of today. However, the guarantee system does not cover the shareholders. In other words, they gambled on purpose. Vice President Joe Biden made this remark to the investors just now. That's the way capitalism is supposed to work, and I think the repercussions of SVB are far from over. Also, I'm convinced that crypto regulations will be moved up the priority list. There were 186 other banks that were found to have comparable dangers to Silicon Valley Bank. Economists conducted a study and found 186 potentially dangerous banks. Like the problems that led to Silicon Valley Bank's demise, these institutions must contend with similar difficulties. Earlier this week, SVB failed because rising interest rates ate away at the bank's assets. Customers with balances above $250,000 in uninsured accounts began withdrawing their funds out of fear. However, some people may still be hiding their wealth in uninsured accounts at other banks. And eventually, the rest of the banks will fail as well. Also, the FDIC will not save these financial institutions. The Economist ranked US banks during the Federal Reserve's rapid rate hike campaign. They looked at the books of assets and calculated the losses in market value. Treasury notes and mortgage loans are two examples of assets that can lose value. That's the case whenever a new issue of bonds comes along with a higher interest rate. The funding ratios of the bank were also examined by the economists. Since they rely heavily on deposits from high-balance, uninsured customers, the fate of the other at-risk 186 banks is all but certain. I still think they are trying to bring down the current system by crushing crypto, and I think they rushed to bail out this bank so they could find someone to blame. Furthermore, these financial institutions were all involved with cryptocurrency. The runs on banks persist. Customers of Schwab have withdrawn $8.8 billion from prime funds this week, and they plan to do so again next week. To this day, it hasn't been recognized by anyone outside the crypto community. Clinton Gore financial crisis this week, emergency lending to US banks surpassed the previous high set in 2008. Banks are being bailed out with the newly released funds. But while that cash is being added to the economy, inflation will rise. Furthermore, I anticipate that grocery prices will rise significantly in the near future. But the price of gas appears to be dropping. In a moment, we'll get to that. But consider the impact on your utility bills. And so will they. Given the current state of the banking industry, I believe this will trigger a series of events that will ultimately result in a CBDC. A lot of people are thinking about turning on XRP already. The numbers are indicating that this is the case. Credit Suisse will be saved by Ripple because they have this solution and a working relationship. At this point, everyone knows Credit Suisse was rescued. Nonetheless, I'd like to draw your attention to a section of the Ripple website that addresses the question of where and how XRP can be put to use. Many inefficient and time-consuming processes can be streamlined with the help of a shared ledger system, resulting in significant savings, as well as extremely slippery. This is payments, especially international ones, trade, finance, and the processing of trades and securities all fall under this category. Specifically, Credit Suisse uses Ripple as an illustration. Using Ripple as an example of a platform that could enable both cost savings and revenue growth, this technology is aimed at financial institutions looking to improve their bottom line through more efficient payment processing. It was McKinsey that Credit Suisse referred to confirm that international payments are a promising use case for distributed ledger technology. If financial institutions have already recognized XRP and Ripple as the answer to the current dilemma, then why is Ripple still blocked in the United States? Why? Oh yeah, because it's being sued by the SEC. Should the case be resolved, I anticipate Bank of America will activate support for Ripple and XRP for that order within the next 24 hours. Indeed, additional financial institutions would join in. Perhaps they hope that won't occur. Perhaps their goal is the collapse of this order. Considering we could be using a solution if one existed. The frosty money printer goes BRR. Inflation is the result of this. It's inevitable that fiat currency will collapse to zero. As for me, I think we're already there. There would be no more buying or selling of oil with US dollars if Saudi Arabia made that announcement. But think about how convenient it would be if you had your own personal money printer. We're currently contributing to a system that is broken. Tax season has arrived. Again, the banks are being bailed out. The level of national debt is plain to see. They have no hope of ever paying off their debts. They will never be able to repay even a small portion of their debt. Do you know why they want to switch to a new platform? They want to start over with a level playing field. Unfortunately, we don't get a do-over. Instead, we'll have a CBDC and a slave-based economic system. This is fantastic news for all the world's governments, but terrible news for their respective populations. The United States is going to be a part of that. We go out and work for a living, using money that is backed by nothing to cover expenses like rent or a car loan. They'll just print more money if they run into trouble, which will further devalue our currency. It has to end. The Fed must be abolished. This is a million times more important than anything else. The CEO of Gemini is requesting 30,000 Bitcoin by the end of the weekend, as Bitcoin's value has increased by more than 10%. It's clear that Bitcoin is currently experiencing a bull run. Many believe this is the beginning of the next run. A blow-off top has been demanded by some. At some point, they demand a Bitcoin worth $250,000. However, the trend continued, as similar language regarding XRP has emerged. What's great about having this digital currency in your possession? Even a tiny increment in the right direction. In doing so, it alters the narrative surrounding XRP itself. Let's assume XRP reaches the same 128 FIB extension it did in 2018. I was anticipating a cost of at least $400, but $10,000 was completely out of the question. What I mean is, I have no idea. In other words, that means that XRP is the foundational protocol layer for the entire financial sector. Unlikely, in my opinion. At the moment, many forecasters predict that XRP will surpass $10,000, but XLM is rarely mentioned. Do you ever think about that? These two digital currencies, however, will complement one another in the future monetary order. You'll need XDC to make any real headway in the trading world. To illustrate, suppose XRP processes the majority of the funds. Still, I think XRP has what it takes to succeed at the top. In my opinion, there will come a time when the price is greater than $1,000. But in the short run, could you imagine that most of you are probably already breaking out the calculator and figuring out how much money you would have if Bitcoin were to go on a massive run and we were supposed to repeat 2018 with $400 plus for XRP? As far as I'm concerned, that sum of money is absolutely monumental. Nobody ever seems to have enough XRP, no matter how much you have. As it depends on so many variables, no one can say for sure. When it makes its next run up, would you be willing to hold it? If it reaches a certain point, will you be willing to hold it? Consider a goal of $400. The question is how many buyers would buy if they thought this was it. At this time, I'm willing to part ways. In any case, I'm relieved to be free. Well, I'm waiting for it to hit $1,000, others might remark. In that case, I'm getting out of XRP and selling all my coins. You'll hear similar advice from others. It's possible that you'll never have to sell your XRP holdings. It's possible that in the not too distant future, you'll be able to use it to secure loans and generate passive income. Putting your crypto knowledge to use in that way is the way to go. Accordingly, the precise amount of XRP required is highly situational. What if every single forecast comes true? Doge 5.89 XRP only $1. Drop a dime. The market upswing has begun. Is there something I'm forgetting? The next round of betting has begun, they say. We've finally reached the end. The time has come to begin. Honestly, I'm not sure if we've made it yet. We'll just have to see what happens. But if XRP were to hit 5.89589 in the opposite direction, the price would surge to $68. Depending on who you ask, some people are more likely to express doubts about the price than others. This is ridiculous, and XRP isn't going to be able to counter 10 anytime soon. So, here's how I see it. I've owned XRP for 4.5 years. I plan to keep holding onto it. That's right, I anticipate a significant increase in price very soon. Depending on how the price of XRP evolves on Monday, I expect ISO to release the first price predictions for XRP. These predictions are likely to be the most conservative yet. However, the conclusion of the case is also important to consider. This will unquestionably cause XRP to experience a tremendous surge. The next step is to consider how much longer you can wait. In the end, that's all there is to it. But what's great about holding XRP is that whenever the price fluctuates, so do the stories surrounding it. Maintaining that long-term goal is what keeps the hope alive. There will be stories no matter which cryptocurrency you hold, but the situation with XRP is very different because we anticipate much higher prices. Whatever your hopes and expectations are for XRP, hold tight to them and keep your holdings going. We're almost there. And maybe on the next run. Perhaps this is the first step. On the other hand, I think we will eventually experience a utility run, the duration of which and the resulting price levels are pure speculation at this point. Since I think the world's central banks will eventually assign a dollar value to cryptocurrencies, I think market capitalization would be irrelevant. I don't think they should be priced so low. But I'm going to end this video here. To everyone who has been tuning in, I appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who has watched my videos. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.